one of the most underrated things that you should always take a lot of care in while you're on trail is your socks. A good pair of wool socks is one of the most important things to have when you go backpacking. I'm Taylor and welcome to Southern Hike. So today, guys, you know what? Rachel! You want to go backpacking?
Heck yeah!
Let's go backpacking. Did you think I wasn't going to bring you two? Let's go. All right, so of course, we're going to the Pine Mountain Trail at FDR State Park. And in this video, I know that a lot of people reach out to us asking questions about doing the Pine Mountain Trail. And I'm gonna try to give some extra pointers, especially ones that people ask me a lot, and then to kind of incorporate in this entire video. So if you're watching this video and you're checking the Pine Mountain Trail out, because that's where you're searching on YouTube, just follow us along and I try to give you as much information as I can as we do this, as I remember, especially questions that have already been asked. If you watch one of our videos from earlier in the year, we started at mile 0 and went all the way through the Pine Mountain Trail, all the way to the end, come over here to the tower, and that is at mile 23. Today, over until tomorrow, we are going to do it backwards. So we're going to start here at the tower. We're going to go all the way through, go over here to Cascade Falls, make our way around. I think we'll probably have lunch at like Rocky Point. And then tonight, we're staying at Whiskey Still right here, and then we'll continue to make our way in the big Poplar Loop. That's one of our favorite areas of the trail. We're going to come back around, and then our truck will be parked at the country store. Now, this is two common spots if you're doing the whole thing, is to park at the country store across the street from the country store, and then to park at the tower over here. And then you obviously know on this map, which is an excellent map, it's like $5, you get it at the park office. This is one of the most useful tools to have out there on the trail. A lot of apps are out there that do have this trail in there, but there's some inaccuracies, and this map is kept up really well, and it gives you all the useful tools, especially as far as water sources, campsites. There is designated sites, and you have to have a permit for each one of those. We do have a permit for Whiskey Still, and we're going there tonight. So guys, let's go ahead and get all our food and gear together. So I'm going to kind of let you follow along as I prep all our gear together. I've already had these on one of these like USB chargers. This is what I use. It's been awesome as far as like charging both our headlamps at the same time. You can tell they're both charged already. This is mine and Rachel's, and we're only doing it overnight, so we just bring one small 10,000 milliampere battery just in case we need to charge our phones. Both of our phones are pretty good about holding a charge because signal in most of the areas here aren't bad. Sometimes it is, just be aware of that if you're doing the trail. But this is all of our electronic gear that we're charging. I've already charged my camera batteries. So as you might have seen in one of our previous videos, I talk about always keeping a checklist to keep your standard gear on. This is one we use all the time. This is one I kind of built over the years now to know which things we always carry with us. And that way I kind of narrow down quickly and know what we still need to get, and what we've already got as I pull it out of the gear closet. So let's go through and pull all of this gear. So I've got 100 extra of these fuel cans lying around. We're gonna go ahead and use these half burns. We'll bring 2 of them just to kind of see if we can burn the rest of the fuel out of them. Rachel, this little, if I can get it out of the bag, this little Tokes fork, because she is doing that ramen meal tonight, and she definitely can't do that with a spoon. So this little light guy is pretty cool. We'll see how it works tonight. tower, and there's Rachel. You ready?
Yes.
All right, we're starting at the tower, and we're gonna go on trail. We're running a little late because we started a little later today, so we're gonna really put the miles in. Luckily, Wolfden Loop ain't too busy. That's what I was worried about. But we're gonna go ahead and get to Rocky Point, and then we'll have lunch there. You ready?
Yes.
Let's go. So that is mile 1. We're not doing too much filming so far because, as we figure, there's a ton of people coming through here, and it's just getting on trail, off trail, on trail, off trail, and so we're just moving along, going down to the wet stuff. And what do you think?
It's great. Hungry already.
Well, I think we're gonna stop at Rocky Point to have lunch, like I said before. So let's keep on. So we have made it past Cascade Falls, moving up to Wolfden and working our way around. It's like super windy, overcast today. And as you can tell, Georgia's foliage is starting. This is October 30th. Our foliage comes a little later because our summers last way longer than like up north. And also our foliage doesn't look near as good. Vegetation here is just sitting as pretty. But anyways, we are about 2.5 miles in now and keep moving. And this is the way to basically do it from the tower. Me personally, I've done this trail so much my whole life, I kind of avoid this area unless I'm doing a through hike because it just gets so busy on this side anyways. There's a lot of day hikers that come here just to see because this is where all the waterfalls are. And I get that. When you're just here to kind of get some miles in, you know, it kind of gets trafficky where there's so many people on trail, but we still enjoy it. But this section I'm just trying to get through. That's why I didn't really do too much talking. I tried to get a little video of all the waterfalls as usual because they are pretty and they sound really cool, and it's a great spot to visit, especially if you're just doing a day hike. But anyways, if you're starting from this side, you start at the tower, and then we already went by, I think it's Bumblebee, that's the first campsite on this side. And like I said earlier, you have to have a permit for all of these. You can't disperse camp anywhere or stealth camp as against the state park rules. You have to have a permit, you have to be in a designated spot, and there's a lot of great spots. If you check in some of our previous videos, we went to a lot of spots here. Pretty much been to almost every, I won't say every spot, but I've been to almost every campsite on this trail. So they're all really good besides Bethel Creek. That one is not my favorite. But anyways, and you can check out our previous through hike that we put on video that it's just not a great spot period to put a tent or anything. And so another thing to kind of say that this time of year or in the spring, in the dead of the winter even, honestly, you better at least be trying to get your spots at least 2 to 3 weeks out minimum, I would say. That's just personal preference because this place just loads up with people doing the trail in the winter time, and then in spring and fall, and even in summer. I mean, there's still a lot of people, but like, good luck trying to get some of the prime spots for doing through hikes when it's like peak backpacking season, that's for sure. So I try to tell everybody to make sure you plan way ahead of where you want to be and be ready to go ahead and get that spot. So all right, we're gonna keep on going. if you're continuing to do the Wolf Den Loop, you would go that way, and that is going to be Beaver Pond Trail. But we're going to Blue Blaze, on the Pine Mountain Trail, and we're headed to Rocky Point right now to have lunch. But if you're headed back to the tower, you would take a left right there at Beaver Pond and keep going. Have made it to Senior Hiker 77's famous spot, Sparks Creek. We are down in the bottom right now, and then we are headed up these switchbacks, which is Rachel's favorite. She has a scar on her knee from where she fell earlier this year, coming down that switchback, so she's going up for redemption. So anyways, we didn't know if we might run into John while we're down here. I know this is his spot. We're keeping on moving on. We are running out of daylight, that's for sure. So we're trying to truck it pretty good because we're probably gonna be putting our antenna up with a very low light. So yeah, well, let's keep going. We have made it to mile 16, and that means we're close to Dowdell's Knob. We'll loop around here, and I think there's I think it's Brown Dog campsites down there, and we'll go around Dowdell's Knob, and then we'll cross Hines Gap, be very close to Whiskey Still. Probably got maybe just under 5 miles left, but we're keep on trucking. The problem is these overcast skies, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up, are making it get dark a lot faster today, so we are working against the sun for sure. It's really hard to see right now, but there's a beautiful view out there. We're right on the edge of Dowdell's Knob right now. So we have made it to Dowdell's Knob. That is the way to go up to the parking lot, and then the spot where Roosevelt had his barbecue at. We're still in a rush, but that is where Dowdell's Knob is, so that's how far we've made it now. So another thing I want to discuss in this video for people that are thinking about doing this one, let me turn my density down, is that there is a group on Facebook that's very informative. If you got a question, there's a lot of people that can help answer your questions. A lot of the members of the Trail Association are on there, and they're very good at responding and giving you any information you need, and especially the association website. I'll try to link it below in the comments. But anyways, that group is a good spot to get a lot of info. A lot of people post a lot of good photos from this trail, and just kind of keep up to date on what's going on. Now, I want to say though, because a lot of people have reached out to us and I've recommended them getting in the group, and they're like, well, I can't find it, or this is the biggest problem is that this is the Pine Mountain Trail for us at FDR State Park here in Georgia, but there is a lot of Pine Mountain Trails across the country, and you need to clarify to make sure which one you're at when you get in a group, because a lot of people get confused with that. Because I've seen a lot of people join the group for this trail and then ask questions about stuff that doesn't even have to do with this trail. And I think that has a lot to do with the campsite issues. People don't realize that this one you have to get a permit at. So check out that group. I'll try to link it below too. And these are some good resources if you have questions, or if you just want to kind of keep up with what's going on at the Pine Mountain Trail. And I'll also, Jim Hall will inform you of trail closures or what's going on the trail. So we have made it to where the Boottrop Trail will take you back for the Dowdell's Knob loop. And then if you watched our previous video earlier this year when we were doing the through hike from the opposite direction, we stayed at Bethel Creek, not a favorite campsite. It's going to be right ahead and we're about to pass it. But as you can tell, country store, we're at 13.3 miles to the truck. So we passed Bethel Creek. Somebody was there, so I didn't film none. But they had a fire going too, so I guess they got some wet wood to burn because it is very wet. We've had rain the last couple days, but I was just telling Rachel it's funny because in the last video you watched, it was literally the same part of the trail and it was getting dark on us before. So this time it's because the overcast is making it dark, even darker even faster. So we got right at a mile left and we're just trucking to try to get on to camp. We were at 12 and I'm sure my ISO is up pretty high right now because it is getting really dark, but we are almost there. Whiskey Still. So we're here at camp. I don't know how clear it's gonna look on camera, but these are some sweet spots at Whiskey Still. There's another one behind Rachel right there, and then there is water down there. All right, maybe you can see me. I don't want to blind the camera. We have just had dinner. I had Texas chili. What'd you have, babe?
What did I have? Oh, ramen noodles.
What?
Ramen noodles.
So we had downloaded a movie, and it's close to 9 o'clock already. So it's already hiker's midnight pretty soon. So we're gonna go ahead and chill out and try to warm up in our quilts and sleeping bag and enjoy our evening. And we will see you guys in the morning.
I'm trying to wake up.
Good morning. As you can see, we have already packed up. This is a sweet spot. Whiskey Still is literally like the halfway point of the Pine Mountain Trail. So we did everything in the dark. We ate last night in the dark. We ate this morning in the dark. And we just packed up. Everything's super wet because it was a very low clouds last night. So everything was just covered in fog and wetness. Yeah, and so I got our rain fly on the top of my pack because it's drenched. But we're going to go ahead and hustle out this morning and get these last few miles in the books, I guess. And say we did another through hike this year of the Pine Mountain Trail. But
Easy.
Let's get going. So we have made it to the big Poplar Loop. And if you go that way, that's Grindstone Gap campsite. There's a really old video of us where we went a night there, but it's down very low in that bottom, but that is not on Pine Mountain Trail. So we're headed this way, and we continue. We'll do the one section of the big Poplar Loop and go by Beach Bottom, and Turtle Hollow, and all those good spots. We have made it to mile marker 10, which means we have 10 miles left. About to be back at the road. I've almost tripped a lot the last 2 days. But anyways, we are making it through here on this side of the big Poplar Loop. It's a lot of ups and downs, ins and outs, a lot of rock. So yeah, a lot of incline, decline, but still very mild. But it'll get your heart going, that's for sure. But crazy story I wanted to tell from yesterday at the park office. That's where you get pick your permits up at. Is that I filled my, so when you go in there, they first ask you to fill your permit out, the one that like stays with your, you hang on your pack, and you give all your information, like your license plate, where you put your vehicles, what sites you're staying at, and all that good stuff. But anyways, so I filled mine out. I said that we were starting at the tower and finishing at the country store, and that we were staying at Whiskey Still. Well, when I brought it back to her, she looked at it and she was like, "So you're gonna do the entire trail overnight?" And I was like, "Done it before?" And she was like, "All right." So I thought it was so funny because I was like, you do realize that people do this entire trail in a day sometimes, and there's plenty of backpackers out there, some that are part of this community, that a 23-mile day is not as easy. So funny story, I just didn't expect that response she gave me. But anyways, we are got just over 7 miles left. We're just trucking along, thinking about 3 little pigs in Pine Mountain, right near. It's a great barbecue spot. That is going to be our end of trip meal, and it's sounding really good, including a hot shower. But we're just gonna keep on going on. It's still another overcast, cool morning. The humidity's just like really high though, so it's like sticky, even though it's cold. Made it to the park office, so you know we started yesterday. We're right there. If my camera will focus, went all the way around, and then we come over and stayed at Whiskey Still right there, and then we're all the way back over, and then we're right here right now, and the truck is just over here. So we are down to just over 3 miles, and I want to tell y'all that if you're still following along, thank you for watching this video. I'm not going to finish out the video until we get to the truck. You got to, of course, see that. It's a celebration. But just want to say that still reach out to us if you're thinking about doing this. And I'm not sure why. There we go. Sorry, I didn't realize that my screen was that dark. But anyways, make sure if you got questions about anywhere on this trail, be glad to reach out to us on in the comments or on Instagram. We try to help anybody we can. But also check out that group like I was talking about earlier. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. That is one of the easiest ways to help us out if you haven't already. We really appreciate it. But we'll continue to crunch these final few miles out. Final mile. There it is. Mile 0. Hey, high five. All right. All right, guys, that is it. What do you think, babe?
Tired, my feet.
So this year we've done it one way and then turned around and did it the other way. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment below if you have any questions, like I said before. And if you're new here, please subscribe. We do a lot at the Pine Mountain Trail, and we'd enjoy to have you part of our community. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next week.